Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Get Informed with Waji. Today, we will be covering a very important topic, a topic that has been for a very long time not covered, and it has not been discussed on a wide range of issues regarding the LGBT community in Saudi Arabia. We have Suhail al-Jamil Jiddan, who was wrongfully arrested in 2018, in the October of 2018, where he uh, his parents demanded his arrest, and then he memorized the Quran, and he left prison after good behavior, memorizing the Quran. He went on to become a student at California State University, Fullerton, until they told him that his mother is dying, and he went back to return back to Saudi Arabia, only to be surprised again at the airport. And he was wrongfully detained, charged with public decency, online security, public taste, and appearing like women. Sentenced to 3 years in prison and 800 lashes, and he was placed in Dahban prison, a political prison that holds terrorists and extremists in that same place. Now, his second arrest was in October of 2019, and like what I said, it was sentenced for 3 years, and those 3 years are over by the end of the month of October. Now, we haven't heard anything regarding his release, or we haven't heard any statements from the Saudi Justice Ministry of Justice regarding that uh, anything about his safety, anything about his well-being, or whether he is or not going to be released from prison. Now, we are having demands for his immediate release as his sentence is over. We are trying to make sure that the whole world understands that there are political prisoners from the LGBT community only because they're members of the LGBT community. They're being tortured in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia just because they're members of the LGBT community. And we need to put an end and demand justice for those who are wrongfully arrested and detained in the kingdom. And Suhail Yusuf Al Yahya is just one of them. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us again. Let me talk to you about human rights with the LGBT community in Saudi Arabia. It is against the law in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to appear like the different sex. It's also against the law for you to uh, come out as a member of the LGBT community or a trans person. And the sentence varies from being imprisoned all the way to a death penalty. I was told personally that I have two death sentences in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, one for leaving Islam and the second one for being the first openly gay man from the kingdom. I'm not, I was lucky to be in the US, and I was lucky to have been able to apply for asylum and was granted political asylum in the United States. Suhail Yusuf Al Yahya wasn't. Tariq Aziz before him was also sentenced to jail. In 2015, 2016, there was two trans women from Pakistan that were living in the kingdom and were tortured to death by Saudi security forces. Not on any illegal suspicion, only because they are transgender. Now, the kingdom doesn't have any justice system for these people. We don't have any legal laws that have any protections for members of the LGBT community. And we are asking Western countries to get involved and get in action, demanding an end to that injustice. Many people in the kingdom, when the religious police was very active, used to get held, beaten up. I've heard stories where guys were detained, they were forced to open their phones, and these clerks put porn videos in their phones just to indict them, even though they had nothing on them and they could prove nothing. The only reason they did that is so they appear to have be a member of the LGBT community just because they talk a certain way or look a certain way, and these suspicions alone will make you a target of the Saudi religious police. Now, after the religious police has ended, the policing has moved from the religious police to the Saudi public, where the Saudi public is essentially policing themselves. They have this app that they're using. The app is used for many reasons, but you can go on that app and snitch on your fellow citizens and tell the government that this is a member of the LGBT community, and the government will go out of their way, arrest that person, and deal with them. There has been just another recent arrest of another TikToker in Saudi Arabia who is African American, African Arab. I'm used to saying African American. Who's black in Saudi Arabia and appeared to be a member of the LGBT community. Yet he hasn't announced it. He hasn't told anyone. And because someone went on these governmental apps and reported them, that person right now is arrested and sentenced for another 2 years in prison, I think. It's just monstrous and scary to see a government allowing people to snitch on each other just for them to be able to control their people, not because they have a sufficient justice system. And there are many holes in that system where you can have so many innocent people wrongfully convicted just because of that stupid app. Now, Yusuf Al Yahya didn't do any crime. He was minding his own business. He was in the United States of America. He took a picture with his swimming shorts trunks on the beach. And apparently that was too much for the Saudi government and too much for his mother and too much for the Saudi public. They had to bring him and drag him all the way from Saudi Arabia and imprison him just so he couldn't be himself. In 2016, when I first came out, I was under direct threat of being kidnapped by the Saudi government in the United States of America. And I had to go into a safe house in Kansas City, Missouri. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here with you today. So, I would love to tell you about a very important petition I started. The petition is about demanding the immediate release of Suhail Yusuf Al Yahya. And I would hope that you guys would sign the petition and get involved with us and make sure to share that petition with your friends and family. And if there are any questions or participations from the audiences, you're all welcome to join and give your piece in this space. This is a safe, open space for members of the LGBT community, and we will be discussing Suhail's case again and again until the whole world knows and understands that uh, that he is wrongfully detained, wrongfully arrested, and I just found my petition. That's why I was taking a little longer to uh, get to you guys. Here you go. I found the petition. I'm going to pin that to the top of the nest up there for you. Um, Make sure that where did it go? I already just here you go. Again, so I placed the petition up there for you in the nest. Make sure you share that with your family and friends and all the people that you know. Um, we will be covering this with other news agencies and members of the press. So we will be holding a press release regarding Suhail Yusuf Al Yahya, hopefully in the next coming weeks, where we will give details or and updates about his latest situation. And from there, I'd hope that we make demands from President Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer to put an end to that injustice by the Saudi government of arresting and detaining members of the LGBT community just for being who they are. Now, um, Suhail is not the only one. Suhail is just one that we all know about. I receive many cases on daily basis, and let me tell you about this guy named Ahmed. Ahmed was from the east side of Saudi Arabia. He was born with a geno issue, allowing him, not causing him to have a side effect of a bigger breast as a man. That has caused him a lot of problems in the kingdom, where people assume that he is looking or trying to look like the other sect. This poor guy has been getting raped by his brother since he was a child all the way till now. When he tried to tell that to his family, they wouldn't believe him. Last thing I heard him tell me, and I never heard from him again, he came to me to complain that he was trying to go and work out outside for a run. And a group of guys also thought that he looked very queer. They ganged up on him, beat him up, poured gasoline on him, and lit him. He struggled, rolled around in the dirt or sand trying to take out that fire, called the police. When the police came and they took his report, the police officer told him, "Why are you like that?" Indicating that his sexuality or the way he looks is just the reason why he was beaten up. And he literally said, quoting the officer, that these gentlemen applied the law on you because you are disobeying the public taste law. There's nothing I can do for you. He had third degree burns, was had to go to the hospital, was not treated very well, was not given any medication, and was sent back home. These people have no hope other than to run away from a place that is so dangerous to be a member of the LGBT community. Many people only see very slim chance of their freedom by dreaming of running away from the kingdom and having a chance for a better life, living just wanting to be who they are. So that's why when Suhail Yusuf Al Yahya was released the first time, he decided to run away from the kingdom and go all the way to California State University, Fullerton. He started his career, he started his education, and that did not make the Saudi government or his family happy. So they had to lure him back. And he loved his mother very, very much. So they reached out and told him that his mother's passing away and he needs to return as soon as possible so he could say his goodbye last words. Rushing, he ran away, ran all the way to the airport, got the plane, went to Saudi Arabia, and little behold, he was surprised and betrayed by the most person that he could trust in his life, his mother. She wasn't dying. There was nothing wrong with her. She was just part of the plan to lure him back into the kingdom. The Saudi government was very upset that he took a picture with a very short swimming short in front of the beach and thought that was against the public taste, even though that was posted and taken outside of the kingdom in the United States. He was charged with parents disobedient, public taste, cybersecurity, and another charge, sentenced for 3 years in prison and 800 lashes. That was in October of 2019. We are in October 2022. It's been 3 years, and we still have heard nothing from his family nor from the Ministry of Justice in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. That's why I have placed the petition up there for you to share and tell your friends about and inform the world about the injustices that are happening to us in the Middle East. Now, if you're a member of the royal family and you were a member of the LGBT community and a member of the royal family, we wouldn't be having this conversation. The biggest example of that was Sultan Qaboos in Oman, where it was very well known to all of us that he was gay and he liked men and he wasn't married. Yet no one talks about it and it's considered a taboo. We have in Saudi Arabia Princes Yolo Fahad and many princes before him that are closeted, and they bring their boyfriends to Saudi beaches. They spend the best of time of their life in front of all of the Saudi public, yet no one can touch them because they are a member of the Al Saud family. Saudi Arabia trying to show the world that they are having a new face of modernization. They have new rights for their own people. They have a ministry of entertainment and a ministry of tourism, trying to attract people from all across the world to visit this new vision of Mohammed bin Salman. Yet, the people, the very people that are supposed to welcome these visitors are imprisoned. The very people that are supposed to welcome these visitors have their land stolen from them. Last Ramadan, there were three porn stars from Spain that visited the old historic Jeddah. They're all gay porn stars that have been and visited an Islamic conservative country that their law is to kill and stone members of the LGBT community. How dangerous would that be tomorrow to have visitors come over and then a Saudi or somehow an Arab falling into that and getting caught by Saudi authorities? Will the American be arrested or will the Arab be arrested? What will happen? What kind of catastrophe are we going to face? How long are we going to apply Sharia law onto people that don't have anything and don't believe in it? So it seems very likely and very possibly that these changes have nothing to do with improving the national interest or the interest of their own people. And it has to do everything with sport washing, whitewashing, and improving the image of the Saudi kingdom so they could be done with their human rights violations. But I think that the kingdom don't have a clear vision to which path they should take clearly yet. On one hand, they want to hold on to traditions and Islamic conservative values that were the reason and the path of creating some of the most extremist ideology we have on the planet today. And on the other hand, they want to secure an economy that could come after the petroleum. On the other hand, they want to have a stable, modernized economy and modernized society. At the same time, they want to have Western educators, professors, engineers, uh, thinkers, artists, all to move into Arabian Kingdom. And that is just unimaginable for them with all the restrictions that is currently in place in the kingdom. So, to recap, Suhail Yusuf Al Yahya has been wrongfully detained and arrested twice in the kingdom just for being a member of the LGBT community. He's not the only one, and there has been very strong evidence in recent years that the Saudi government has been involved in oppressing members of the LGBT community and keeping their eyes away from any bullying or any harassment from the Saudi public to these communities. The Saudi government don't know how to treat this issue, especially with their Ministry of Entertainment and Ministry of Tourism. They're strongly trying to fix their image around the world and are contradicting their basics of what they want and their own ethics and beliefs. And that's why we are exposing these realities today and these injustices. I have put a petition for everyone to go and sign and share with their friends and read the details of Suhail Yusuf Al Yahya's case. I thank everyone that joined the space. If there were any questions or any concerns, you're welcome to hit the mic and we can answer these questions. I'll give another couple minutes. And if there was no other questions or comment, I will be ending the space. It seems like there isn't any from anyone here today. Thank you so much all for tuning in. Thank you for listening. I love your faces, and I'll see you next time.